Hey guys, hope you all okay. Hope you all doing well. Alright, I want to continue with the second part of the video on how macam mana proses kita orang move to Australia 10-11 years ago. So I already shared the first part on my last video about how I get to know that I'm going to move to Australia from my wife and the visa process and all that. Alright, sorry ya tempat ni bising sikit sebab ada banyak sort of white cockatoos. If you can see on the tree, yang putih-putih itu semua memang dipanggil Western Australia white cockatoos. Memang semua tempat ada lah. Tengok belakang saya ni. Dia macam parrot, warna putih. Memang diorang stay in a group and making a lot of noise. Alright, let me just move out from this place. Alright, so let me continue with the story about once we already moved from Malaysia to Australia, yeah. So at that point of time, my wife punya job memang secure lah. She already got the job in Australia. So datang terus start aja. And I've already spoke to my company, and my company said they will help out this and that. So we went to Australia, quite promising, hoping that both of us will get a job, we can have a comfortable life kat sana. And then we arrived. Something happened. So the company, diorang bagi duit upfront so that kita boleh settle dekat Australia, boleh cari rumah until we can find a permanent house to stay. But that is not the problem. We managed to find a house, macam Airbnb lah untuk sebulan, stay dekat Perth City. This was about 11 years ago. And then my wife started to go to job on the third day itself. Dia start pergi kerja dah. You know, although dia work from home, sometimes dia kena pergi hospital juga untuk jumpa doktor kan, for her work. And then I started to do some job hunting lepas minggu tu. No, well, first, the company yang I used to work in, PTP dekat JB, dia orang cakap akan help saya untuk dapatkan kerja lah. And then when I emailed them back, when I reached Australia, and then I get to know the response from the Australian side of the business, saying that my visa, also known as a spouse visa lah. So visa yang saya dapat masa tu 457 ya. So employer sponsored. So the employer of my wife company sponsored visa tu untuk dia. And myself, I am the sub. Sub ni consider as a spouse visa lah. Visa untuk pasangan, I think. Alright, so according to the law kan, 457, visa 457, the spouse not able to work. So we're not allowed to work. Not even as a part-timer ke apa, memang tak boleh. Kalau if the company want to hire me, they need to produce extra paperwork, need to prove to the government why they need to do it. So because of that hassle, so no company willing to sponsor me the visa. So because of that, tak boleh kerja lah. And then I thought to myself, okay, alright, look like the plan is a bit disrupted. But sekarang I have no income. Only my wife is going to work. Single income And we did some calculations, some budgeting and all that. And then I thought to myself, alright, since I'm not allowed to work, let me take a break until I dapat PR kan. and look like my wife's salary, korang boleh manage lah. It's not going to have a good everyday makan luar punya life. So we can manage with a single salary. And then a few months passed by. In Perth masa tu, and I become like a full-time house husband, jaga anak, masak untuk family, and my wife is working at the time. And after 6 months, I started to feel very bored sebab tak tahu nak buat apa. Every day bangun pagi, you know, jaga anak, masak untuk dia, my wife pergi kerja, masak untuk family. And then I started to feel really, really bored. So sometimes when I think about this, so all the housewife yang duduk rumah, buat kerja semua ni, it's actually not easy. Because every day they do the same thing, you know. Bangun pagi, masak, prepare kids for schooling, you know, basuh baju, lipat baju, kemas rumah, masak lagi, and keep repeating every day. So this is getting a very routine. Not everybody can do that. So I feel something like that. So nothing is challenging my mind. Kalau pergi kerja, something is there to challenge your mind, a project or whatever it is. So always keep you going. But staying at home hits different, you know. And then 1 year passed. Of course, I cannot work. I even tried to ask a few companies and all that. No, not a single response. Every time they get to know about my visa condition, memang tak proceed lah. 1 year passed, and to be able to apply for PR tu permanent resident. Nak dapat PR tu kita kena tunggu at least 2 years working, then can apply. And then after 1 year, second year tu I dah macam depressed sikit lah, anxiety lah, depressed lah, you know, don't know what to do. And then my wife said, alright, let's send my son to school for not school, daycare, and then you can take some time off and do something on your own, but you know, study hobby ke, ambil photography ke, whatever it is. I was doing something, watching movie, playing some game. Sometimes once a week we send my son to daycare and I do all the kind of thing, doing some gardening, this and that. Slightly improve the life, and try to go for some vacation every time. Kalau wife saya ada cuti, I'll go around Australia, not Australia lah, go around Perth, jalan-jalan. Not easy, but it helps me slightly to alleviate my depression or anxiety at the time. My wife, she did whatever she can at that time to help me out. She knows the situation, she knows I feel very bored kat rumah, don't know what to do. And then I just have to bite the bullet, you know. I have to just stay on calm until I can get the PR. And 2 years passed, applied the PR, waited another 6 to 8 months to dapat. So masa tu same, stay at home, jaga Rohan anak saya. My wife will be travelling here and there, Adelaide, Melbourne, you know. Sometimes me and my son for a couple of days at home. Memang boring lah, sebab tak ada family, tak ada apa-apa. It's just you and your son navigating life in a foreign country by yourself. It's different, you know. It's really different. But we get through that. We went through, we overcome that until dapat PR. The moment I dapat PR, within a month or two, I got a job straight away. So nampak sangat PR tu penting. Kalau tak ada PR, no matter how qualified you are in this country, they will never take you. you know, unless the job is very demanding job, you know. So you macam job yang tak ada orang nak ambil lah, satu macam ada setengah job macam apa, what do you call that, aged care worker. Aged care worker is a demanding job. I'll do another video on the demanding job in Australia, at least you guys know about the whole picture. So once I got my PR, dapat kerja terus, consultancy job, working for a consultancy for about 3 to 4 years. So I'll share with you another time. But one thing I wanted to share as well, during that 2.5 years until I dapat PR dekat Australia tu, memang torturing for myself. As I said, because I'm a house husband, house father. It's not easy, but my wife did what she could to help me out, and I appreciate that. And the community that I stay, so this is very important to mention. Kalau you all nak pindah rumah atau pindah negara lain untuk nak pergi belajar ke, nak pergi kerja, the first house that you've rented out, that you rent, you know, is very important. You have to make sure the community around that house tu, siapa yang ada. So the community that's staying in my area that time I rented tu is a group of old people. Belah kanan saya about 75 years old. Yang depan rumah saya around 77. Diorang semua stay solo. Some are single mom, some are single lady without married. So these people are lovely people. They're always around. Someone that you can always go and talk to whenever you feel something. So that also helps me out, especially Patty and Christy, my neighbor. One day I share about them. They're very good people. There's seldom you come across with a genuine person that really care about you. So you can feel, because someone talk in front of you, can talk with you, you can feel whether they are genuine or they're fake, or they're just try to, you know, beating around the bush. So that too are a gem of a person. I'll talk about them some other time. So this is my life until I get the job. Alright, I've already talked about how I get the job, how we moved to Australia, and the process in Australia for about 2.5 years, what I did to keep me sane. Alright, if anything I come across, I'll share with you guys. If you guys have any question, anything, let me know. Happy to answer. And I'll see you guys on the next one soon. Cheers.